allegations are not wrong. Madam, do we have any evidence to prove that your husband is sleeping? Do you have a text message where the sent and say, last night, when we had intercourse, I can never forget that moment. That one, he has trapped himself with the text. Or is there a video to prove? I'm not saying you saw him entering the room. You don't use that to attack a man. You will regret for doing it. Do you understand? So for all of us who are saying, my husband denied, it means that the reason he can deny is that you don't have evidence. Evidence is not something a man can deny. What you are dealing with is that you have insinuations, you have reports, but there's no evidence. Let me warn, it can backfire on you so badly. So I challenge women to exercise patience. If you think your husband is cheating, exercise. In fact, that is when you need more maturity to just behave like you don't know. Behave like you don't know until you can have solid evidence. In marriage, be careful of allowing yourself to act prematurely into saying your partner is involved in sexual acts with somebody else. Please, it's a dangerous thing to do without solid evidence. Until you get evidences to prove, don't step out to make allegations. It can come back so badly on you. I'll never forget a very terrible case with a very, very senior lawyer in this city, one of the most respected lawyers. And the daughter rushed up to me on Sunday morning and she said, Daddy, no, she called me on Saturday. I said, Daddy, she wants to see me in church on Sunday, that her mother too would like to see me. I said, what is it? To cut a long story short, the girl this was on a Friday, thank you, on a Friday. So this girl said she was passing by her father's study room in the night. I think it was in the night or so. She was passing by his study room. And as usual, the mother thought the father was studying, which is what he's supposed to be doing. She said, but somehow she heard the father talking. So she just opened the door to say hello to her dad. Apparently, he was facing another direction and didn't even see her. He see that she has come inside. And then the father was talking to a lady, talking about the blowjob she gave him yesterday. And the man said, that blowjob you gave me yesterday, I have not recovered from it. And listen to what he now said. He said, tomorrow is Saturday. He said, I'm supposed to take my son to school. He was talking, the daughter entered the room. He said, tomorrow is Saturday, I'm supposed to take my son to go and resume in the university. He said, but you know what? I still feel like having it again with you. So he said, what I would do is that I would tell my wife to carry my son to the school. I will come very early to come and meet you there in the hotel. So that's how the girl called me to say, Daddy, this is what she heard her father said. And that they have rated, they so value their father. They saw he's a big man, highly respected in this country. She said she felt shattered completely that day. That this is a man that they hold in high esteem. So she now said, Pastor, what can she do? She was shivering. What can she do? I said, calm down. I said, make sure you see me in church on Sunday. Let's get to talk. And I said, I hope you've not told anybody. She said she has told her mom. I said, hey. I said, God, oh. I said, oh yeah, quick. We need to find a way to talk to mom. She said, mom has gone to sleep. I said, okay, very early tomorrow morning, tell mom not to talk to daddy about it. Before she woke up to call mommy, mommy has confronted daddy. Long and short of it, daddy truly did not go. Mommy took the boy to the school. So I now called her. I said, I want to talk with mommy. I said, mommy, why did you confront? She said she couldn't hold it together. I said, mommy, but that's not an evidence. He can turn it against you that your daughter that said. There is nothing you can use. Your daughter did not record the conversation. So that's not an evidence you can use. I said, mommy, you will have relaxed. She said, Pastor, what will I have done? I said, mommy, what you will have done is that you could have made a different arrangement for your son to go to school. I said, then you follow him to the hotel. And I said, even the hotel, following him there is not a proof that he's having an affair. I said, what you need is you wait until he has entered the room, give them like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, you open the door. However you have to do that, you get in there, create a scene, get in there. As if you are that desperate to get result too. Otherwise, you may have to wait by another means to get the result. And there are several ways by which you can actually get a man. Once he's having an affair, there are multiple ways you can use to get him without even following him to the lady's place. But she went and did, oh Lord, sir, they are still reaping the man has totally got them off. The mother, the daughter are paying dearly for it till date. So please, For those who are saying my husband and my husband is saying he's not having an affair, all I'll just simply say to you, please be patient enough to investigate so that you can have concrete results. And there are several ways to investigate such men. One of the ways that I will tell you that some people do is to actually set him up with someone close to you. If he's such a person that is so smooth, so smart, the major weakness he has is women. Is that okay? So one of the things you can do is to actually get a sister friend or a close friend of yours to chat him up with a pseudonym. She will chat him up with a pseudonym because it's what he likes. I saw you online, I like you. Play him until when he will go into the room. So sometimes you need to go that far with people who are very slicky. The issue is that smart people will always fall into foolish traps. So, but please don't attack a man when you don't have evidence. I just want to put that straight, all these things. And then for the one that you know he is sleeping with women, you have evidence, and the man has chosen not to repent. Please don't forget that on the ground of adultery, a marriage can be brought to an end in the Christian faith. It is not an end we desire. It is not an end we look up to. But if a man remains unrepentant, is unwilling to change, unfortunately, he is already playing with the future of his marriage. If he is unwilling to change, because the danger now is that he can go pick up something from someone, bring to you. Like what happened, was it 2-3 years ago? The man went to sleep with a woman, came back home and slept with his own wife. And then he gave his wife, he picked on HIV, gave it to his own wife. His wife died within 6 months. He is still alive. Yes. We have a second case, we have another case that broke most of our heart. A woman that was running one of the best singles ministry in this country, that is a mother to a lot of our worship leaders today. Most of our worship leaders, you know. This lady was the one that housed people like Manus and Kalu and all of them. They all stayed with them. Beautiful family, doing well. If you see their church in Maitama, that's where people like governors, Pius Ayim and Sam Egu, that's where they used to go to worship. So God has blessed them. And the pastor had this lady that she was in his choir. He joined her in marriage. And after he joined her in marriage to one of their sons in the church, when the husband goes to work, he goes to sleep with the girl. Unfortunately for him, he didn't know he picked HIV. And then came home and slept with his own wife, innocent woman who married him as a virgin. Gave it to her. I literally will come to the hospital here, come and look at her, totally wasted. She died. It broke the heart of the father and the mother. And immediately that happened, he took off to Lagos. He's still alive today. I think I learned he's just got married again or something like that. It is the danger we expose our families to when we do this crazy stuff. It seems to me that the men have a way of taking care of themselves. In your National Assembly here, men have the way, once they find it. One of our daughters, one of our ladies, she got married to this guy who professes to be a pastor of one of the churches. By the time she got to discover the guy was HIV positive, she saw the report somewhere. Did not know that after he married her, 6 months into marrying her, he went to marry somebody else again in Lagos. Yes. Yes. He married a lady from Canada. That lady came from Canada. They did wedding in Lagos. He told her he was going for business in Lagos for 1 month. She didn't know it was wedding preparation 6 months after they got married. One day she gave him her laptop. I said, God will always catch the men. One day she gave him her laptop and he worked on the laptop and forgot to sign out. When she came, loyal wife, she wanted to exit him. Something told her, why don't you check the mail? That's how she just said, let me check my husband's mail. She said she started seeing wedding album. She was like, what is wedding? That's how she pressed, poop, wedding album. Sir, the same father-in-law that stood for him during their wedding stood. The same best man that stood during their wedding was the best man in Lagos. And the church they were worshiping him was about to give him a branch to start pastoring in Lugbe. She called and she was crying. We called her. Because when she fell in love with him, she cut off from us. So for 1 year, she would see me coming like this. She would turn. She would do like she didn't see me. I told my wife, I said, we are pastors. They go come. We go wait here. So the first call she was going to give us was when she was in trouble. We received her, sir. What do we do? She was crying. I have all the mails with me. She had to forward everything because of fear that he may delete it. So I have all the mails. And by the time I said, we are going to check quick. We're going to plan something. So we had a plan. Was that on Sunday, as they go to church, as they are in service, she will come back home. Arrangement has been made. A truck is available to pack everything in the house. Because we knew that if the guy gets to know that she knew. So we told her, don't let him know you've seen the mail. Don't let him know. She now stumbled on the HIV report. That's the one that almost killed her. That's the one that almost killed her. So we said, God will show you mercy. We said, go and run a test quickly. She went to run test. As God will show mercy, sir, she was HIV negative. We said, this one that you are in HIV negative is God saying, Ferege, run. So what did we do? Sir, we joined, arranged for truck. Sunday morning, they were in church. She just quietly Zoom. Came home, packed her things. She's in London now. She just got married. Yeah, she's married in London now. That's how she left Nigeria. Poop, took off straight to London. And she's happily married now. This is what we live in. So don't forget this. The pleasure of a moment can both ruin your life and ruin the life of your loved one. Many couples are dealing with HIV issues now. And it came from somebody going outside to bring it inside. Particularly Abuja here. Abuja is not even a place you should practice infidelity. Because Abuja girls are on circulation. From National Assembly to Ministry of Defense to FIRC. When they are done with them in FIRC, they will now send them to Jabi Park. From Jabi Park. Just on circulation. It's how bad Abuja is. Abuja girls are available for any price. When they are still on the bouncy side, the big guys are giving them 500, 200, 300. When the big guys are done with them, fresh girls have come. They downgrade them now to 50,000. And many of these girls too now, once they notice that they're HIV positive, antiretroviral is everywhere now. So they are taking antiretroviral. So you won't see it on them. You won't know who has HIV. You don't know who has it, who doesn't have it. And pleasure go. Carry you go. Carry me, they go. Carry me, they go. They go. Hold on here. All right. We have a question? Dream chaser, please come on live. Bring her up. Let me have a question. Hello, ma'am. How are you? Go ahead. Let's hear your question. Well, that is the punishment of being a coach. That sometimes the coach will have to deal with the difficulty that others are faced with. So when you overcome it, you are able to communicate to others. So it's what God delivers you from that you are able to use to bring deliverance to others. Here's what I want to say. I know your husband is Igbo, and from what you are told, there is a stereotype that maybe Igbo men don't communicate. They do. What we need to do is to isolate your husband, get to know the peculiarity of your husband, and get to know specifically why your husband doesn't talk. Like you saw what happened here today. It might just be that you are too much of a coach and less of a wife. I know I got you there. So sometimes the challenge is that the man doesn't want to talk to the coach. He would like to talk to a wife. And if you know an Igbo man, he doesn't like a situation whereby his wife, he loves his wife to make progress, but he doesn't like a situation whereby the wife is trying to make him feel less of a man. So I know you are a coach, you are a great speaker, you are highly knowledgeable. My worry is, I hope, and I can see it from you, I can feel it as I'm talking now, that the man may be in love with a woman who eventually may be communicating to him like a coach. So what I would say is that we need to downgrade a bit. When you come home, you need to come back home as a wife, and then you need to make him feel that he is the most knowledgeable one. Like a man said to me, he said, Reverend Sam, he said, anytime I try to talk to my wife, she overwhelms me with knowledge. So, woman of God, you know, you are so prophetic, you are so anointed, you are so knowledgeable, you have a lot of revelation, and you know, your revelation level is so high. And the challenge is that your husband may be too busy making money and doesn't have time for all the things you have time to develop. So I would say that create a simplistic environment for conversation. And since you have my number, give me a call. Let's talk about the practicalities of it. We can figure out a model that works. But I will tell you this truth. You will need to do some coming down for him to come up. Yes, ma'am. Does that make sense? Thank you.